Is there coverage for business owners whose businesses were looted or damaged in the recent protests and riots? And the answer is yes, coverage is provided in most policies, but there is a recommended way business owners may want to approach filing a claim. Welcome to the How Insurance Works podcast. My name is Mike McGilvery. I'm a second generation licensed property and casualty insurance broker and agent at Shaw Moses Mendenhall and Associates in Southern California. My goal is to simply help educate and inform on various aspects of insurance and the insurance industry. The content in this podcast should not be considered insurance advice and is for general informational purposes only. Insurance forms and endorsements vary based on insurance company, changes in addition dates, regulations, court decisions, and state jurisdiction. Now, the topic in today's podcast addresses a question we've been getting a lot from clients and colleagues, and that is this. Is there coverage for business owners whose businesses were damaged or looted by the recent protests and riots? And the answer to that question is yes. In most policies, riot and civil commotion is a covered peril. Now, if you are a business owner and your business was damaged or looted in the recent protests and riots, and you're in a claim situation, there is a recommended way you may want to approach the claim. And that is what I wanted to cover in today's podcast. Now, the recommendation comes from the experts at the Greenspan Co Adjusters International. Now, they are one of the most experienced and respected public adjusting companies in the country. They have managed and negotiated thousands of claims for nearly every type of natural and man-made disaster, and they are certainly my first phone call whenever I have questions about filing claims on a client's behalf. Now, what the Greenspan Company is reminding us of, the narrative that you build when you are working with your agent and filing a claim, the narrative that you build and submit to the insurance company is critical. And as the Greenspan Company, in their words, summarizing their words, the description of your client's property loss in the claim report is critical in determining how the carrier, the insurance carrier, interprets coverage. Now, here's what they're recommending. If you are a business owner, your business was damaged or looted by the recent riots, and you're working with your agent to file a claim, what they're recommending is don't use the words riot or looting in the narrative. We're going to have a lot of business owners over the next few weeks filing claims under riot and civil commotion. The Greenspan Company's advice is avoid using the words or avoid calling them riot or looting claims. Instead, their recommendation is they should be described as vandalism, burglary, or theft claims. That type of description and that type of narrative is going to increase the chance that coverage is triggered and the claim is paid. Now, of course, it's only the insurance company that can decide whether a claim is accepted, paid, or denied. But if we want to improve our probability on triggering coverage and having a claim paid, instead of using the words riot or looting, we want to describe it as vandalism, burglary, or theft. Now, vandalism, burglary, and theft are also perils that are covered in most insurance policies. So that should be helpful in the narrative and in the description to help trigger coverage and make sure that the claim is paid. Certainly work with your agent on that if you are a business owner in a claim situation. However, if you do want to talk to the Greenspan Company, you can feel free to call them at 888-356-1582 or visit their website at www.greenspanai.com. That's www.greenspanai.com. For any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me directly, Mike Mack at howinsuranceworks.co. That's Mike Mack at howinsuranceworks.co. Hope this podcast was helpful. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one.